Long way, get this shit a long way, shit a long way. Long way, hit the long way, 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 shit long way, long shit long way, long way, long way, long way, long way, long way, shit a long way. Gotta get the shit a long way, get the shit a long way, finish rich, yeah. Gotta get the shit a long way, get the shit a know she don't really understand, man. Gotta know what she don't really understand, man. Gotta get a mirror, she don't understand, man. She be tripping every day, she be tripping every way, but I gotta get the shit a long way, yeah. Tryna get money every single way, tryna get money every single day, yeah. Get money every single way, every day. Every day we gotta get paid, yeah. Every day we gotta get paid, yeah. I'm feeling like we be the new slaves, yeah. No, we gotta finish rich, no, we gotta finish rich. Got a new bitch, she don't understand, she don't understand, niggas gotta get rich. She don't understand, sometimes we gotta hit lit. No, we ain't hit lit, tryna get the long way, yeah. Tryna get the shit the long way, yeah. Coach is tryna wrap up a entree. Yeah, told you the other day that did my palm strong. We gon' get the long way, we gon' get the long way, yeah. Yeah, get the shit the long way. My bitch be trippin' back and forth like a palm way. My name is Tari, I ain't playing games, so I'm done Tari. Yesterday she told me that she bout to leave, man. Said fuck it, bitch, we gonna get some money. Said fuck it, bitch, I'm about to get some money. So what I do today, I want to get some money, yeah. We gon' get the shit the long way, long way, we gon' get shit the long way, yeah. Back and forth like the palm way, yeah. Man, I'ma get the shit the long way, get the shit the long way. Just the only way today, because they go with shit's crazy. We gotta wear a mask, we the new slaves, and we be wearing this shit like every day. We be okay, we gon' be okay, they gon' be okay, they gon' be okay for me, yeah. So we gon' get the shit the long way, we gon' get the shit long way, we gon' get the shit the long way, we gon' get the shit the long way, yeah, we get the shit the long way, yeah, cause we gon' be okay, we gon' be okay, yeah, we gon' get the long way, yeah.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome. Hold on. Let me stop the cam for a second. Testing. All right, we are good. What's up, everybody? What's up, Omanique? What's up, Andre? What's happening? Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Been a long time. I know. I just been doing a lot of other things, you know, just been enjoying my life. Everything's been filled with tons of positivity. Just wonderful things have been going on. So I just been busy. Nothing bad, because thank you for the people that have reached out, making sure I'm okay and everything. But everything's okay. It's just my life has been better than it ever has before in my life. So thank you, everybody. Welcome. If you're new to the channel, my name is LJ Young. I am the founder of SMD. SMD is not me. SMD is a family of people that think like me. And what is that? They share my gift. And the gift is that I know capitalism is psychological, split into two parts, positive and negative. Now, the people that live on the negative side of it are called debt slaves. Now, debt slaves are people that believe they can own with no money of their own. People that believe they can buy houses with mortgages, buy cars with car loans, save for retirement while having a mortgage, save for retirement while having student loan debt, go on vacations and buy property while having student loan debt that's older than all of it, personally and business. Those are called debt slaves, all right? Now, what I do is bring, what I do for this SMD business, what I do is bring people over from the negative side into the positive side. What is that? What does that mean? That means I help people own the business of themselves in the United States of America. That's what I do. All right. Now you're probably thinking, well, What do you mean own myself in the United States of America? Well, you log onto your online credit report, you look up your total debt. That's how much it costs to own the business of yourself. That's how much it's going to cost. Okay. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, well, what do you mean? You're probably still confused. You see all that debt, student loan, mortgages, credit cards. You're probably thinking, well, that's going to take forever. All this stuff starts running into your brain, all that debt slave jibber jabber. I can't do this. There's so much of that. Mortgages, this and that. Well, yes, it's all of that. That's how much it's going to cost for you to own the business of yourself. That's the only way you're going to be able to get to the positive side of capitalism, right? Now, knowing that capitalism is psychological, positive, and negative, 99% of people live in the negative side of capitalism. 0.5% live in the positive side. 0.5% live in the psychological part, and that's where I live. That's where I live, in the psychological part. Now, with this knowledge, I now understand that the psychological is an actual language. It's a language that is spoken, but debt slaves, you guys can't really understand it because you guys don't know that the psychological exists. You definitely don't know that capitalism is psychological. So here's an example of speaking psychological. You can't buy a house with a mortgage. Like, you guys don't know what that means when I say that. You can't buy a car with a car loan. You can't do that. You cannot save for retirement while if you have a car loan. You can't do that. But since it's psychological, you guys believe that you are, even though none of that is mathematically true. You can't do any of that. But that's the psychological part. You guys don't know that. So what I do is, because I was once a debt slave too. So what I do is bring people from the negative side to the positive side, which owns yourself. Your credit report is really your owner's ledger. It keeps track of all the businesses that own you. So those are pretty much your debt slave papers. You guys don't know that either. It's all psychological. The only thing a credit report really is, it just keeps track of all the businesses that own you and how much you owe them. Okay. Until you pay all them back, that's the only time you can own yourself. So you can't do any of that. So, well, you don't, but debt slaves, you guys don't know that because it's psychological. It's a language. You guys don't know that. Okay. So on top of that, you guys also do not know that currency of any kind, gold, silver, paper, cryptocurrency, whatever kind of currency that you believe exists in your brain, it doesn't exist for you, okay? Because you guys are debt slaves, all right? Now remember, what I'm sharing with you is a gift, okay? This is a gift, obviously, from God. This is a gift from God, right? Now, the difference between my gift and the gift of other people around the world, I can prove my gift with math, okay? So let me prove to you that money doesn't exist. Any type of currency doesn't exist for you. You can do this with it, but we're going to imagine this, right? Because it doesn't matter, right? So imagine you're holding $100 in your hand, okay? A $100 bill, okay? And maybe you actually have one. If you have one, it'll be better if you actually can hold one, because I want you to see this, okay? So actually hold one in your hand and open up the calculator app with the other, okay? Put in $100 minus your car payment, okay? Now listen to me closely, okay? According to the calculator says you don't have $100 in your hand. You see what I mean? You don't have $100. Now, remember, I'm not with you. Okay. You guys don't know people like me exist. Okay. Now imagine you handed me that $100. Okay. Now I have it. Now put in $100 minus no car payment. What do I have? $100. See the paper, I can feel it, but as soon as I hand it back to you, it vanishes. Now, if you swap that with $100 worth of gold, the calculator remains the same. You swap it with $100 worth of silver, the calculator remains the same. Currency doesn't exist for debt slaves. You guys don't know that. That's the psychological part. You don't know that. You guys cannot invest. When you have a mortgage, you can't invest into retirement. You can't do that. So when you look at retirement plans at businesses, they're for the business. They're not really for you. I mean, they kind of are if you understand what they really are for. Like 401k plans, they're for people that understand how it works. Like you guys have no money, so you guys really got to expand your brain. It's kind of hard to understand, but you guys have no money to put into the 401k plan. You guys don't know that. But for the people that have jobs that do understand that, they know that's for tax breaks and earn a little money while it's sitting in there for whatever they're investing in or however you do it. It doesn't really matter, but that's for people that understand. Don't believe me? You don't believe me? Go ask anybody at your job and say, hey, have you ever fully funded a 401k? And fully fund mean whatever it is in 2024, 22,000, whatever the IRS says the max is for everybody that wants to know. I guarantee you won't find one person that has done it at your job. You know why? Because you guys have no money to do it. You guys couldn't even imagine putting $20,000 into a 401k in 1 year. You can't do that. Debt slaves can't do that. So if you go try to find somebody that has done it, you won't, because they don't exist. I did that one time for the first time out of my whole entire career as a computer engineer. One time, fully funded a 401k. Everybody was blown away. They was like, you did what? I was like, yeah, that's when I first got out of debt. I didn't think it was a big deal till where I'm at today. Now I know it's a big deal, because guess how many people in a company that ever fully fund a 401k? Probably barely 0.5%, 1% of people. That matches where I'm at today. Do you understand that? Everything I'm saying, I can back up with a calculator. Never forget that. Once you own the business of yourself, your entire life changes. So, for example, me, dating is totally different for me now. You know why? Because I wouldn't date a debt slave. That's why. I don't date people that don't own themselves. I don't date people with car payments. I don't date people with mortgages. I don't date women with credit card payments, student loan payments. There's absolutely no reason to do that. Why? Because they're in debt. I won't even have sex with them. Sounds harsh, doesn't it? Sounds very harsh. I wouldn't do that for two reasons. Because number one, sex is the most powerful drug in the world. If you don't want to recognize that, that's your problem. Number two, why? Why confuse? Sex also confuses feelings from people. You know, people start having sex thinking things are going to change. It's not going to change for a debt slave. My feelings wouldn't change for a debt slave. Sounds harsh, huh? It is, because if you do the work, and the people I've helped understand that. Once you put in the work and do what it takes to own the business of yourself, you don't care about what debt slaves think. I do not care what they think, because they do not own themselves. Why would you listen to a person why would you listen to a person that give you financial advice that doesn't own themselves? That doesn't even make any sense. They don't know that. You see the stock market? You see the stock market? It wouldn't exist without debt slaves. You guys know that? The stock market wouldn't exist without them. Capitalism is built on the backs of debt slaves, but never forget this. Debt slaves are debt slaves by choice, okay? They choose not to trust the calculator. They choose that. You think the stock market would exist if they didn't allow margin? If they said, hey, you know what? We are no longer going to allow margin in the stock market would cease to exist. Do you understand? Because debt slaves have no money. They indirectly, listen, this is how, this is what you guys cannot see, okay? if you have enough money to get your business into the stock market, whatever, you can get indirect bank loans. You can get bank loans indirectly via the debt slaves. Now think, I want you guys to understand how it works. This is how it works. Debt slaves have no money. So they have to borrow the money to invest. They borrow the money from the bank and invest into the big companies. That's what they do because they have no money. None of this, none of everything you see when you drive down the road, you see the cars driving on. Here's another example of debt slaves that do not know. They don't know. You see how many electric finance cars are driving around the road? They don't know that they're not saving any money on gasoline or whatever they think they are. That's imaginary. It's psychological. You have to buy the car first before you can save money on it. How are you going to save money on a car that you couldn't even afford to buy? You can't do that. Now, here's the glitch in the debt matrix. This is what I want you guys to really understand. Debt slaves do not know people like me exist. Billions of people don't know people like me exist. They don't know. You want to see, this is what's called the glitch in the debt matrix. You want to see what, now you kind of can imagine the movie The Matrix. Put it this way, The Matrix movie, 1999, I say is the closest to what it really is. Okay. Now, here's a glitch in the debt matrix. Okay. This is what I want you guys to do if you want to test this. Okay. Now, one second. First, before you ask the person this question, I want you to prepare yourself to be fully focused on their reaction when you say this to them. Okay? You have to be ready and prepared because the reaction is going to be really quick because they're not going to know what to do or say. Okay? So this is what you do. You go up to, now let me tell you this first. It's 100% impossible to buy a house with a mortgage. You can't do that. That's impossible. You can't do that. Okay. Now you go up to a person with a mortgage and you say, hey, did you know you can't buy a house with a mortgage? This is going to be the glitch in the debt matrix moment. Okay. They're not going to know what to say or do or whatever. They're going to be confused. That's what I want you to see, that they don't know that they're in it. That's why they're confused. They're confused with the mathematical truth. You can't walk up to a debt slave and say, hey, you know it takes only one day to buy a house, not 30 years. They don't know what to say to that. Here, they will finance it. Listen, they will finance a car and know they don't own it until every payment of that car is paid back to the bank. They know that. They logically understand that. But for some reason, not for some reason, according to the program, they go over to a house and finance a house and believe they own it. That's part of the program in the debt matrix. They believe that. They believe appreciation, equity. Those are words, people. Those are words that the bank made up in their contracts when they sign all that paperwork and all that paperwork they sign, equity, appreciation. Those are bank words, debt slaves. They don't mean anything. They don't mean nothing. When you own your house, the only thing you're looking is value. You're not looking at it. I mean, you might look at it, say my house appreciated from this and this, but you're just saying my house is worth this. And you don't use words like equity and appreciation. You own the house. What's the value of it? Period. I don't need to know anything else. So what? Unless I'm getting ready to sell. Unless I'm selling, I might worry about it then. But if I'm not selling, I don't care. It doesn't matter. Debt slaves don't know that. The housing market would not exist without them. Do you guys understand that? The housing market could not exist without them. They are important. The car market could not exist without them. You're probably thinking, well, how do you know that, LJ? Because I don't finance cars. That's why. I don't finance cars. Why would I finance something that goes down in value? There are millions. Listen, There are millions of Teslas driving around. 99% of those things are financed. They're not saving nothing. And none of them know it. How do I know that? They park their charging stations. This is how you know. This is how you know. Because when you own yourself, let me make sure this is clear so you guys can understand this. When you own yourself like me, I own myself. You know what comes with that? Owning the time in my life. You don't know that when you're a debt slave because you don't own yourself. So if you don't own yourself, you don't own the time in your life either. So you never know that. So when you finance a Tesla and you think you're saving money, you're not saving. Finance any electric car, you're not saving money. So you pull up, you wait in line to get to the charging station, more time in your life. And then you sit. Listen, you sit. And I saw that. Listen, I saw this feature in a new electric car. They do you debt slave so dirty. You sit at the charging station for another 30 minutes if somebody's not parked next to you. Because the charging goes slow or some stupid nonsense, right? They said, hey, while you're waiting on your car to charge, you can play video games. I thought adults was driving these cars. I'm gonna sit at a charging station and play a video game. Are you crazy? When you guys do that, Tesla owners, I want you guys to listen, okay? Listen. When you do that, and wealthy people, billionaire people drive by, walk by, and see you guys wasting your life sitting at a fucking charging station in a financed Tesla, you have no idea what you're doing. No clue at all, nothing. Oh, I was only here for 30, 40 minutes. Are you crazy? For a financed Tesla? It's financed. Now, when you come to the positive side, you create electric cars and you sell them to the debt slaves who will finance them. Do you understand? You come to the positive side, you own yourself, you sell houses who will finance them because listen, people, they cannot buy anything without asking the bank's permission first. They got to go ask the bank to buy cars, houses, investing, everything. Gasoline, every time they pull out the credit card, that's asking the bank permission to do whatever they need to do. They don't know that. When they pull out the credit card, when they pull up to the gas pump in their finance car and pull out the credit card, of course they're financing the gas because they pulled up to the station in a finance car. So they're looking at the gasoline, they're talking about, woo, that gasoline sure is high. It sure will be, according to your credit card interest rate. It sure will be. And how long are you going to take it to pay it back? Debt slaves don't pay off their credit cards at the end of every month. Can you imagine how much gasoline is for them? Debt slaves. That's their fault. But if you come to this side, you thrive off of them. You know how much freedom I have since I broke the 40-hour work week? That's a program, people. I didn't know that. Did not know that. I'm so close to owning 100% of my time. I'm this fucking close. This close. Sure am. I have all 100% peace in my life. No stress, no debt, no problem, thriving businesses. Beautiful. Boundary set up everywhere. Hey, no narcissists, no debt slaves allowed unless I need the debt slaves, because in order for me to thrive, I need debt slaves. Every business needs debt slaves. I understand over here on the positive side, the banks control everything. Do you guys understand that? Hey, whatever. I don't care. This was in place before I was born, people. Do you guys understand that? It was in place before I was born. And I learned in the best country in the world, where everybody in the world, no, capitalism works the best, in the United States of America. You know why? Because we have the best millions of debt slaves in the world. We have the most clueless debt slaves right here. Sure do. We have the most clueless ones right here. They don't know shit. Nothing. They don't own anything. Driving around in brand new cars, houses, clothes. Hey, listen, I bring you to the positive side. I help you become a Gucci, a Prada, where debt slaves advertise your shit for free. Do you hear me? They do it for free and then they brag on it. That's the level I bring you to. Bring you out of all that nonsense. They think they own shit and bragging on Gucci. I bring you over to the positive side. You become a Gucci and let them brag on your stuff and brag how much your stuff costs. $700 shirts, $5,000 bags. I help you come and become that. Then you can sell because they're financing all that stuff. You think they're paying cash for Gucci, Apple products? They're doing none of that. That's all financed. You guys are wondering, like, this is the gift, okay? You can clearly see what's happening with the economy, right? Debt slaves are always wondering what's going on, what's happening, why isn't the president doing something? How come the economy's not good? Hey, listen, if Afterpay apps are thriving, if Afterpay companies are thriving, Apple Afterpay, Pay Later, Pay 2 times, whatever, that means the economy is bad. That's what that means. Because if you're breaking up a shirt or some pants in five easy payments, you are in trouble. Do you understand that? You are in trouble. And have you noticed all the Afterpay places are attached to all the big companies, Walmart, Amazon, Nike? Why is that? Because debt slaves, you guys are broke. You think those companies want to? You think they want to partner with Afterpay companies and have them take part of their revenue and take some of their money? They don't want. They have to, because if they don't, they won't make zero money, because you guys have no money, because the bank's not increasing. They're not giving you credit cards. They're not increasing your credit limits. So that means you guys have no money. They do you guys so dirty, so dirty. But I bring you to the positive side where you can thrive and make multi-millions of dollars off of, own the time in your life. It's unlimited over here, totally unlimited. I can do anything. I am doing everything. I'm doing anything I want. The price of everything is different for every debt slave, people. Do you guys understand that? Because they use their credit cards for everything. Everything they buy, the price is according to the interest rate of their credit card. The sale price of everything only applies to people with money. So if you see a shirt that costs $50 on sale for $50, that only applies to people with money. Do you understand? But without them, there would be no me. I understand that there must be balance. There is no capitalism without debt slaves. Believe that. They must remain listen, they must remain clueless. The majority of them are going to die as debt slaves, not knowing anything. You guys, listen, you guys see all that homelessness? See all that homelessness going on everywhere? Yeah, some's drugs, depression, mental, Yeah, all that stuff you can think. Yeah, that's all mixed in there. But you know what they're not telling you, debt slaves? Those are a lot of debt slaves that didn't wake up. They went their whole life not waking up. Financing cars, houses, refinancing, getting more credit cards, filing bankruptcy, starting the whole process over, keeping the student loan debt the whole entire time until the end of their life, until they retire. You see those people like, oh man, I just got a job. I just got a job in retirement because I was bored. So wait a minute. So you worked your entire life just to work into retirement too? That's a lie, people. They have to do it because they've been in debt their entire lives. The majority, I'm not going to say all, the majority of them. You think I'm going to work my entire life, then retire, then keep working, then get another job? No, I'm not. I don't ever want a job again right now because you guys don't know. You guys don't know what a job, you guys don't know. You guys, when you get out, when you come to the positive side and you look at jobs and hourly wages, you guys have no idea. You guys, because you guys are participating in the economy as yourself. Do you guys know what that means? That means your tax. That's why when you get your check, when you get your paycheck, and you be like, damn, look at all those taxes, because you're participating as yourself in the capitalism. That's why. So imagine this is you, okay? Now, you're in the center. Now, we're going to draw a line to your light bill, to your phone bill, to your car payment, to your car insurance, to your mortgage, to this and that and this and that and all that stuff, right? Now, if you just take you out of it and put your business into it, then your business does all that stuff. Do you guys understand? Including taxes. Do you not ever, listen, do you want to legally never pay taxes again? You want to do that? Take yourself out and put in a successful business, and your business does all that. It pays your taxes, your bills, your light, everything. It does. I don't pay for nothing. Do you guys understand that? My businesses do that. I don't do it. My tax bill comes, I just say, hey, business, pay for that tax bill. My light bill comes, I say, hey, business, pay that light bill. I want to go on vacation. Hey, business, pay for my plane tickets and my vacation and stuff. Do all that. That's the difference. You don't know that when you live on the negative side, especially when you don't know the psychological exist. I'm going to stop even saying it because it's irrelevant to even say it. If all humans make mistakes, then who created math? God. Because math doesn't make mistakes. What's up, Omanique? Andre? Capers? You guys been chatting up here now. I've been going on. What's up, Owen? Down South Yella. Reigning Woman, Jarquise, what's going on? Long time no see, everybody. What's up? What's up? What's up, Mr. Mags? Hello to everybody, says Reigning Woman. You know what's so crazy is, Owen, is this, dear slaves. Since you guys have no money to buy anything, so I want you guys to know, I'm gonna just tell you how it works, because you guys will, some of you guys will get it, some of you guys won't, some of you guys won't care. But when they don't want you to buy houses, when they want to slow it down, they just raise the interest rate, because you guys you can't buy a house at all without their help. Okay. So if they want you to slow down or stop or whatever they're trying to do, they just raise them. And then when they're ready for you to buy, they just lower it. When you buy your houses in cash, when you buy, like, put it this way, when I buy a house in cash, okay, I don't care what the Fed interest rate is. I don't care. That's none of my business. That's for you guys with mortgages. That's why you guys care, because you need a mortgage. I already know it doesn't take 30 years to buy a house. Like, here's an example. So for you young people, because this is, the young people is who I really want you guys to listen, right? For the young people, understand this: a mortgage cannot buy a house. It can't. It can finance a house, but it can't buy a house. So all the people that you see come up to you talking about, hey, don't throw any money away on rent. You're just throwing away money. Those are called, when you hear somebody say that to you, you turn to them and say, do you have a mortgage? They're going to say yes, because only people with mortgages make the comparison of a expense to a debt. All right. They're comparing they're comparing the mortgage. It's just so stupid. They're comparing the mortgage payment to your rent payment when they really should be comparing your rent payment to their total mortgage balance. That's what they should be comparing that to. You would see it. You'd be like, hell no, I don't want that. If they compared it to the real thing, you don't compare it to the payment. You compare it to the mortgage balance. If they did that, you would see it and you would like, hell no, I'm gonna stay renting because I don't want to be $400,000 or $500,000 in debt and think I own something. Those are death slaves. I bet you that whole slogan of stop throwing away money on rent, I bet you the banks made that shit up because it seems like it goes right into their plan. It really does. I'm gonna translate it. Okay, let me translate it. When they say things like stop throwing away rent when you can get a mortgage or whatever, right? Stop throwing away mortgage, right? Stop throwing away rent, right? When you can get a mortgage. What they're really saying is remove the landlord so you can give the money straight. So you can give the money straight to us. That's what the bank is. This shit is funny. I ain't gonna lie. This is funny. This is funny. Oh man. We say debt slaves loading up to splurge on the summer vacation. They're getting ready. We say, oh, Monique, debt slaves will be losing mortgage. They sure will. It's coming up. I can see it. No one talks about the hidden cost of ownership, but I live with has a garage disposal that constantly breaks. Man. And you know what? You got to be careful, Jarquise, when you hear people say, well, people don't know what they're talking about. People don't know what comes with owning a home and the expenses. You go, if you're financing, it doesn't matter what it costs. It really doesn't. You just didn't know. If you can't afford to buy the house, you're not going to be able to afford the expenses, people. You're not. Okay? That should tell you. If you drive down the street, right? This is my world. Let me tell you guys my world. Let me show you guys my world. Anywhere I drive down, I don't care if it's a nice neighborhood, low income, it doesn't matter. 99% of the houses are mortgaged. That means everything I see, the majority of what I see is bank owned. Debt slaves, listen, people, debt slaves will add bank-owned assets into their financial portfolio. You hear me? You could open their portfolio and just say, that property is owned by the bank. Oh, yeah, but the equity I add the equity to, oh, you're running the bank. You're slave explaining. Got it. You're running the program the banks told you to run. Equity, appreciation, all that stuff. Let me tell you, debt slaves. Okay, let me tell you. The word, I'm going to give you a hint, okay? And it's up to you if you want to believe it or not. It's totally up to you. But the word equity in capitalism, the word equity is positive and negative. Okay. If you have a mortgage house and you believe you own equity in that house, okay, open up the calculator, put in your mortgage payment minus your mortgage balance and hit equal. You see that large negative number? That's called negative equity. That's not positive equity. That's called negative equity. Okay. If it was positive equity, you wouldn't have any numbers to put in the calculator. Do you understand? There's nothing for the calculator to do. If you buy your house in cash, there's nothing for the calculator to do because there are no numbers to put in it. Do you get it? All right, Coding. What's up, Coding? Is it debt slaves when they talk about how fractional reserve banking is why you shouldn't keep you know what? That's another bank thing. And when I see stuff like that, remember, debt slaves have absolutely no money, none, zero. That's why they say 0 point nothing on money sitting there and stuff like that. They make so much money off of debt slaves, because debt slaves have no money at all. So, fractional reserve, they take your money and then they loan out 90% of it. So what, debt slave? Who cares? Listen, when you see a debt slave making a video like that, It doesn't matter what they think. Fractional reserve, the bank does this. You turn to them and say, so what are you going to do about it? Are you planning on changing it? Are you, listen, you turn to them and say, are you planning on to stop using the banks anymore? Why don't you stop? Why don't you just stop using the banks? If you don't like the way the bank does fractional reserve banking, stop using them. You can't, debt slave. You won't own anything. You won't own a house, car, nothing. No more Apple products, nothing. You definitely won't be getting no Apple products, I'll tell you that right now. You better believe Apple. I bet you 99% of Apple products is financed. Believe that. Debt slaves ain't got no money. Breaking up payments for sure. You right about that, Omanike? Said you're debt free. How do you benefit from fractional reserve banking? Are you asking? Oh, that's a question for me. I don't pay attention to stuff like that. I'm into my business, so nothing's gonna listen. This is what you guys are gonna understand when you break out of the working world. You will realize there's nothing gonna earn money faster than you. You will earn money faster than anything out there if you just put your mind to it. I promise you that. Once you figure that out, and then you take all the extra money, and then you start doing investing stuff because you got to do some tax stuff, or else they're gonna take all your money. And I get it. I get why. Now I understand why. If you make more, they take more, because it keeps balance. It keeps balance. It forces you to do stuff into the system. Listen, you guys. Capitalism has been around for a very long time, people. Very long. That means they already knew debt slaves are that you got everything's built on the backs of debt slaves. Everything. Nothing works without you guys. You guys see all this AI stuff coming up. You guys get all nervous. Oh my God, AI is true. AI, listen, people. Stop it. Okay. AI is not smarter than you. AI is not going to take over the world, and that the economy doesn't work without people, humans. Listen, if we're not here, say like we just disappeared, who the fuck is going to ask AI any questions? What are all these robots are going to do? What are they going to do for? What are they going to do? Humans are the only, listen, we are the only species on the planet that consume unnecessarily. Do you guys understand that? Nothing works without us. Nothing. Robots, AI, nothing. Those are tools, people. AI is just like the new Google or something. You know, it's a Google. Bye-bye, Google. Bye. You guys just don't. All it is that now you guys just don't have to ask Google. You guys just don't have one place to go to, like all the movies. Hey, Google it. Google. You guys don't really understand what that means. Google's reign is over. That's all that means. Now you guys got different AI. They're just making a race to see who is going to be the main AI go-to. Who are you guys going to trust the most? They're in a race for that right now, because whoever gets that, whoever comes in first in that line, you guys will be asking that AI chat everything. How do I do this? I feel this way. What? All that is gold. All that information is gold. And big businesses will pay top dollar for all that information that you guys ask the AI of choice. All that money that Google has, I have no idea why they didn't just jump ahead. They had the money to be ahead of everybody, like for decades. I don't know. That just seems weird to me. I don't know. The banks work for aliens. Well, I don't. You know what, Andre? I don't know yet. Okay, I believe you. I'm not saying I don't believe you, but I can't wait till I know. The IRS. Okay, I believe that. I believe it. I believe it. I believe that too. I believe it. I believe it. The colleges were. I believe that too. You know what, Andre? I can see now colleges are like factories. Public schools are like, you could clearly see public schools, what they are. They are like, they're factories. They train you to get used to the work week, weekends off. They got all the same holidays as the work week. It's just crazy. Now that I'm out of it, I'm like, damn. So you mean to tell me schools didn't really have to be that big? Nope. Why do you think so many kids in the classroom? Let me tell you something, people, okay? I don't know this yet, but one day I will be invited to these particular schools. I guarantee, and Andre already told me this one time. I just want to see it for myself. I guarantee you the schools that teach this knowledge that I'm sharing with you guys today, that this I call a gift from God, it wouldn't be no bigger than a house. It don't even need to be bigger than a house. It's not that many people that's going to be in this particular type of school. You guys understand that? Like, say like this. And I'm thinking about it as I'm talking to you. I create a school that teaches this knowledge. It wouldn't have to be big. I don't need a big campus. I wouldn't even need a campus. It would just be online because I wouldn't even have to physically even be with anybody. I want to go to one of those schools so I can just see what they teach, the name of the school, talk to the teachers, talk to the parents that have their children go to that school. I just want to talk to them because I'm late to the game. I'm late to the game. You believe that? I'm late. If I had this knowledge when in my 20s, and I hope you 20-year-olds are listening, I would know Elon Musk. I would know Warren Buffett. They would know me. Put it that way. They would know me. Now I look at people like Robert Kiyosaki, right? I look at him. You know what Robert's doing? This was Robert doing. This was Robert's doing, because you always hear Robert say something like this. Oh, debt is good. I love debt. Debt has helped me do everything. And then you debt slaves just jump on and say, oh, Robert uses debt. Robert says there's good debt and bad debt. You know what Robert's taking advantage of you? Maybe, I don't know if he's doing it purposely or non-purposely, okay? Because I don't know if he understands that the psychological language, but he's taking advantage of you guys not really understand that there's two types of debt. There's business debt and there's personal debt, okay? Robert's talking about business debt. That's why you never hear him say it. Every video, I watch him all the time. I never hear him distinctly separate the two. He just says it. He clearly is talking about businesses, and I'm assuming he's letting you know, because he's telling you that it's business debt. But if you don't know that it's business debt and personal debt, he's taking advantage of that, and you guys think it's just regular debt. That's the difference. It's pretty funny though. It's business though. I get it. No different. Listen, no different than Dave Ramsey. I want you guys to understand this, okay? Dave Ramsey has a thing on his website. He says, well, you pay off all your debt, except your mortgage, right? After you get down to your mortgage, start putting away 15% into retirement, okay? Well, if you have a mortgage, you don't have any money to put 15% into retirement. That's a business move. Do you guys understand that? That's business. That's why they do that. Because if he just helped you get out of debt and then left you alone once you get down to your mortgage, his business would go way down, because it takes years to pay off mortgages. Years. That's why he's talking about, hey, you pay off all your debt, 15 into mortgage, start putting away money into college. You don't have no money. You don't have money for any of that while having a mortgage. That's called business, people. It doesn't make Mr. Ramsey bad or evil or whatever. Even if he heard this video, he wouldn't think I'm saying it to be malicious. I'm just saying mathematical facts. You can't do that. It doesn't matter how people feel about math. It's just math, period. Business owners work for aliens. I know. Hey, Andre, I don't even know where I'm at. Okay. I don't even know where I'm at. I don't know if I still got diapers on. I don't know. I'm just happy. Hey, listen, I'm just happy to be here. That's all. I'm just happy to be here. Because they all must pay debt and taxes. Yep. They give you contributions for sure. Yeah. Not the rate, the volume. I'm learning that in business. It's about volume, people, volume. But I also leveraged equal loan. Yep, they are. Hey, listen, Monique, they are leveraged by a loan, and they don't even know. They're like, "Hey, you get leverage, man. Use the banker's leverage." No, the banker's leveraging you with the loan, people, with the loan. Like businesses, this is for people that understand. When I look at a business like Navy Federal caters to debt slaves, people. That's why everybody's saying, hey, use Navy Federal to do this and that and this and that. Well, you guys think Navy Federal is stupid or something. I don't know why you guys, but what you guys don't understand is that they cater to debt slaves. As soon as they run your credit report, they immediately know who you are, what you're there to try to do. When they run your credit report, they know exactly what you're there to try to do. You know why? Because you put it this way, scammers, you guys start with yourself. You ruin your own credit first before you expand out. So as soon as you run, and not even scammers, just people trying to just do some shady stuff, right? As soon as they run your credit report, they know why you're there. And they're going to treat you accordingly, get some kind of money out, start with some kind of, oh my goodness. You guys, you got to stop thinking that you're going to outsmart a big business like that, big banking business, okay? You guys are the debt slaves. Do you guys understand that? You guys might as well have red spinning lights on your head when you come and fill out credit apps and shit. You guys are debt slaves. You don't even own yourself. And you don't even know it. This is a language that you do not know exists, people. You don't even know. What's up, Sean? Do they get a check? I might probably talking about something I said. I can't remember. Complaining about inflation while paying 30% credit card interest. I know. Hey, Andre, talking about, oh man, the government, look how they're crazy spending. What are you doing with your spending? Is your clock? Hey, listen, hey Andre, is your debt clock running like the big debt clock right now? Is your debt clock your personal debt clock? Let me take a look. Hey, let me take a look at your credit report. Let me see if your clock is running. Hey, the banks are. Hey, man, they're just businesses to me. They're just businesses. Have us debt slaves been here since 1770? Oh yeah, for sure. Well, as long as capitalism basic. That's what I would do. Just see how long. I think it's been on like 250, 260 years since United States adopted capitalism. So however long capitalism has been here, debt slaves have been here because capitalism is built on the back of debt slaves. But they don't know that because it's psychological. They don't know that. Long before that. Oh yeah, for sure. Long before that. I know that for sure. Don't hate the system. Join the positive side for sure. It's a beautiful thing. Once you listen, you guys, okay, listen. I help you own the business of yourself by bringing you over to the positive side. Now, I live in the psychological part. First, there's steps. First, you got to know you're a debt slave. Then once you know you're a debt slave, I bring you from the negative side. Then you got to know that you're on the negative side. I bring you from the negative side to the positive side. Once you're here, then you start to realize it's a psychological thing that happens. You start to realize things are not expensive. You don't have to have stress and debt in your life. There are no daily problems. You sleep well. You sleep like a baby. Sleep is not for suckers. You love sleep. I love sleep. I love 8+ hours every night. That's a period. 8+ hours. Good sleep. I love sleep. Love it. Love it. Public schools are factories. I knew it. When I was in public school, I was upset because most of it was a waste of time. You know what? Let me tell you something, Code. Now that I understand how it is, I will, when I think back at my public school days as a, let's say elementary school, because this one I started, I think my, I think my, well, I know for a fact my math teacher, she must have knew I had a gift because she was always on me. She was just always just on me, just this math stuff. But I used to love math. I used to love math when I was a kid, right? But I did used to, as a child, I used to say, damn, we get up at the same time my parents go to work. And I get home about the same time my parents go to work. I'm off on the same days, Saturday and Sunday. This is back in my days because the 40-hour work week don't exist like the way back then. This is totally different now. But I used to think that when I was a kid. And I remember when I was like 10, I'm going to say 10. And I remember with this first time, my mom's boyfriend showed me $100 bill, right? And I said to myself, who makes that? Who makes that money? You know, and says we can only use this here. I used to always say things like that when I was a kid. I didn't know why, but I did. Now I get it. Now I totally get it. Because what I see happening now, right, with cryptocurrency, it's like the Wild West right now. And this is just my opinion, okay? I believe the United States is letting you guys do your cryptocurrency stuff, let you guys work out the bugs, because you guys got to report everything you do to the government. You guys have to, and then they can just see it. And then when they come up with the regular the United States cryptocurrency and just outlaw all the rest, that's all they have to do. Every other currency is outlawed, because you got to think back. If you think back before we had the green currency, it wasn't all the same. Everybody didn't immediately agree that we were going to just use this. There had to be some wars. That's the seriousness of it, okay? But then when it was finally established, this is it. So now, once the U.S. says CBDC is in this is the only cryptocurrency that can be used here, that's it. That's why, listen, that's why, in my opinion, that's why I think the big companies are hurrying up trying to make some virtual worlds, right? Because once you guys join their world, Apple World, Google World, whoever's world, whatever, right? They can come up with their own currency in that world. They can do anything in there. It doesn't matter. But when it comes out to real money, that the real cryptocurrency, the only one that can be used is here, outside of virtual worlds. Do you understand? It's just a matter of time, people, before all that other cryptocurrency is going bye-bye. That's all they have to do. Everything else is illegal. You try to do it, you're going to prison. No different than the green money. Try to make up some different paper money. Try to do that. You go to prison. You see what I'm saying? Try to copy it. You go to prison. You get it? I love math. Love math. I love math. We had like study hall and we were there for like 7-8 hours a day. Like, why? I know, right? It's just stupid. It's school, like even college. I used to go. I remember when I was in college, I used to go, why do I got to take this history class that I really do? Because it's a factory, people. I got to pay that ridiculous. Listen, if you just think about it, I had to pay a ridiculous price for a history class that I didn't want to take, but I had to get this piece of paper. I paid on this piece of paper for 10. It took me 3 years to get it, and I paid on it for 10 years. I financed a piece of paper, a college degree. You think I knew that shit when I was in the debt matrix? I did not know that. You are seeing people driving around in these nice ass cars with student loan debt older than the car. We need those debt slaves, people. You come to the positive side. I help you become wealthy. First, I help you learn how to own all the time in your life. Because once I help you own the time in your life, you're going to be able to do anything. Rich, wealthy, whatever. And then you're going to see debt slaves for what they are. They don't know. And that includes debt slaves, include everybody, your brother, your sister, your husband, your wife, your mom, your dad. The debt matrix doesn't discriminate. That's the part, that's going to be the hard part. Once I came out of the debt matrix, I got family in there that don't listen either. Everybody can't come. Everybody can't come over here. Everybody can't come. That's going to be hard. That's very hard for me when I see a family member financing a car or a family member on Facebook talking about, hey, I'm a new homeowner. No, you're not. You're not any of that. You're not even close. Listen, open up your calculator, put in your mortgage payment minus your mortgage balance and hit equal. You see that large negative number? You are a long ways from being a homeowner. Look at it. How much do you make a year? You got to pay that off before you own it. How many years is that going to take? How old are you today? Does any of that sound like logical? Do you really believe you're going to pay off that balance with your current job? Do you believe you're going to be in that house for the next 30 years of your life? What about the person you're with? Do you think you're going to be here in this house? You don't know any of that. All those payments that you're making to the mortgage, you haven't even earned that money yet. It's not even made yet. So whatever that means, any money that you haven't made yet that you're going to work, it's already owned by the bank. You already promised it to them. Your hourly rate, whatever you make, is already gone. First, they're going to take the taxes out of it, and then the rest of it goes to the bank because you promised it to them for a house. They bought you. That's how much they bought you for. They just used the house to do it. You just didn't know that. You can't see it because you're in the house. But they bought you for that. If they remove you out of the house and the house sits empty, they make no money. So they got to put you in it. They don't have to pay no taxes. They don't have to do no upkeep. They don't have to paint it. They don't have to worry about vandalism. Nothing. You guys put insurance on their property. You do everything. They're covered. All you guys do is make the payments. You come to the positive side. You sell them houses. You partner up with the banks. You make millions of dollars with them. Real money. Real millions of dollars. Money doesn't exist for them. Not even cryptocurrency. It doesn't even matter what they finally make it to or whatever. It doesn't matter. Whatever the United States come up with, it doesn't matter because no currency exists for debt slaves. Nothing. Gold, listen, gold comes from the earth, and that doesn't even exist for them. You hear me? That's what I mean. No value for debt slaves, none, zero. Yes, they were. But you know what, Andre? And this is what I want to tell everybody. They taught us all about positive and negative numbers in school. Because I'm not gonna say that public schools didn't teach me nothing, because they taught us all about positive and negative numbers in elementary school. Zero's in the middle. There is no other number like zero in the whole. You don't ever stop and think and say, wait a minute, there is no other number. Why is that? Nobody ever stopped, because you got to go through it to get to the other side. Debt slaves don't know that. But they taught us all this in elementary school, so there is no excuse. You can go up to anybody that's in debt. Do you know -1? Do you know negative numbers exist too? They'll turn to you and say, yes, yeah. Mm-hmm. Then how come you don't apply it to your finances? I don't know. Because that's what they were trained to do. Debt slaves are programmed. They will never know what it feels like to own the time in their life. Yes, exactly. His businesses do, and that's how it works. What's up, Armed Rebellion? What's up, LA? Good evening, LJ. Managed to increase the net worth to 20,000 stocks and savings. All right, still debt free. Great, great. I love to hear stories like that. My first goal is to invest until my dividends pay my bills. You see that? I love hearing stories like that, man. Congratulations. Congratulations. I want everybody. I'm 54. This is the first time in my life that I've owned about 98, 99% of the time in my life. Now, if somebody would have asked me this question as a debt slave, I don't think I would have known how to answer it because I've never felt this before. I've never felt this before. When I wake up, most of my days, I don't know what I'm going to do until I wake up that day. I decide, most of my days, I decide what I'm going to do the day I wake up. Now, when I was a debt slave, every day consisted of I had to go to work, get on the freeway. That was every day. Now it's none of that. I remember when I first was breaking the 40-hour work week, when I first quit my job, I used to hear everybody getting up in the mornings, warming up their cars, getting ready for work. I was feeling like I was like a lazy bum because I was still sleeping while they were leaving to work. I was like, everybody's going to work. I'm just sleeping all day and this and that. I sleep like a baby through all of that now. I don't care. They're warming up of cars do not wake me up at all. No, nothing. Scraping of the window. If it's cold outside, I just put a pillow over my head so I don't hear it. That's just what debt slaves do. Freeway traffic, all that stuff. You don't have to be in any of that. What's up, Sean Fox? The equity thing. Yeah, that's pretty funny. Yeah, equity's funny. Oh, debt slaves are funny, period. When people sell their house, what is the check they get? Is it negative equity? They don't get nothing. They don't get anything. People just say that to you. When I sell my house, you turn to them and say, have you ever refinanced your house? Because you guys, that when you hear somebody talk about the value of their homes, the average person doesn't know what questions to ask a person when they say that. Hey, I bought my house. This is how I listen now. What is that picture? Oh, this is how I listen now. Okay. And they don't know that I can hear this. A person will say, hey man, I bought my house back in 2010, man, and now it's worth this. It appreciated this much. And I would say, did you buy your house with a mortgage? You got to remember, debt slaves believe buying houses with mortgages, you can do it. They believe it's normal. So they will naturally say yes. Well, yeah. Okay. To me, now I instantly know that they didn't buy anything. They don't know that. They didn't buy anything in 2010. So therefore, it didn't, the only entity that it appreciated for was the owner of the house, which is the bank. When the bank sees the house appreciating because it's their house and their money, they call the mortgage holder and say, hey, your house is appreciated. Would you like to refinance and take out some equity? Guess what the mortgage person says? Yes. The bank already knows what area is doing fine on paying their mortgages, what area is not, because they own all the houses, people. Every single debt slave you see has to report to the bank. People, do you guys understand that? Every single month, every debt slave with a mortgage has to report to the bank, their owners. So if the bank decided they wanted an area of a town so they can get a deal to build something big there, all they got to do is, hey, raise the taxes over there. We'll raise some mortgage payments. You guys are out of there because you guys can't afford it in the first place because you had no money to buy the house in the first place. It's business. You come to the positive side, which I help people do. Help you own the business of yourself. You become whatever you want and you sell to the debt slaves because they finance everything. That means they have to ask the bank. So you have a full understanding that they must ask permission from the bank to do fucking anything. Okay? They don't know that. Their daily life, they have to ask the bank to buy coffee, hamburgers, McDonald's, Jack in the Box, restaurants, Chick-fil-A. Everything is built on the backs of debt slaves by choice. They're there by choice. Hey, debt slaves. What? My shoes are too hard and pointy. So what? You don't have to be there. You don't care? I don't care either. One second here. Man, it's been a long time since I've seen you guys. The equity doesn't matter. The debt does. Sure does. Believe that. They didn't sell. What'd you say? They didn't sell their home. They released their promissory note. Big difference. You're right about that. Your jokes are not funny, Andre. They're not funny. Yeah, I had to take random general education classes for my computer. Me too. I had to do listen, when I got my computer engineering degree, I remember taking them stupid classes that I had to pay a ridiculous price for. It was just so stupid. I said, no, sure. I got to do it. You don't have to do it. Just, hey, listen, create a business. Create a successful business. You don't need college. You don't need it. You don't need it. Unless you're trying to be a doctor or a lawyer, of course you need. I mean, there's certain things you need to professions that you need college. Okay, all right, you have to. College is an obstacle course. You better believe it is. I believe that's a perfect saying for that one. I want to go back to my bachelor's in electrical engineering. Eventually, have the skills in engineering. You'll see. You know what? I strongly encourage. And if you're new to the channel, I strongly encourage, if any of you guys watch the Star Trek series where they can beam down the planets and stuff, if you want to be beamed ahead of billions of people, you can come straight to me. Okay. I will give you the blueprint to wealth. Okay. Owning the time in your life. Big skip. You'll thank me for the rest of your life. You will. I promise you that. You'll thank me for the rest of your life. Big skip. Beam me down, Scotty. That's what you would say. Beam me down. I know programming and software, there's big money, but I want to make sure I have other skills to offer the marketplace through physical products. And that's the idea. You just got to keep coming up with stuff. You just got to. But this what I say to people. Try to figure out how you can always strive to try to figure out how you can own the time in your life. The more time you own, the more time you have to create. Okay? That's the only thing I could say. The more time you will have to create, you will. Time is worth more than money. Sure is. Once I pay off all my credit cards, debt off, I'm free. Sure will be. Let me tell you, I'm going to give you guys a little intro to my life. Nobody can tell me nothing. I can do anything. I'm going to be first. Listen, before it happens, I'm going to be known all over the United States first, and then the world. And I'm telling you now, because it's a gift. I'm telling you, this is why it's going to happen, because it's a gift. Everything I'm saying is mathematical fact. It means it's true. Once you own yourself and the time in your life, you'll be able to do it too. I'm not special. I'm just free. I own myself. Your credit report are your debt slave papers. This is the psychological part that's going to be tough for you to, you either can believe it or you're going to die in the debt matrix, okay? Your credit reports are your debt slave papers. They keep track of all the businesses that own you. Once you pay off all the creditors, There's nobody there. That means your credit report proves you own yourself in the United States of America. That's what my personal credit report says. That's why I'm the only one. Now, listen to me closely. That's why I'm the only one on the internet that has made a video showing my entire credit report. You know why they don't do that? Because there's debt on it. That's why people don't do that. That's why they always show you just their credit score. Credit reports prove if you own the business of yourself in the United States of America, which mine does. Amanike says, yes, many cannot be on the above zero side. My nephew makes over 110,000 and he is a debt slave mechanical engineer. And that's exactly what I was too, Amanike. I was a computer engineer, VM, 160,000 a year making debt slave. That's what I was. So I knew something was wrong when I was a debt slave. I sure did. I did. I was like, something's wrong. Something is wrong. That's why I have 2 jobs. Now, listen, outrageous. I know now when I hear a person like you say I have 2 jobs, because you understand a job as a tool. You have a purpose. I'm using these jobs to become free. You hear other people, I got 2 and 3 jobs to make car payments. Do you guys understand? There are 2 people out there with 2. There are people out there with 2 jobs so they can make their car payment. You stay away from people like that. You do not associate. Those are debt slaves. I always try to reiterate this, the power in it, because men don't really understand, but it's who I am today. I will not date a debt slave woman. Do you understand that? It doesn't matter how she looks. It doesn't matter her career. It doesn't matter how fine she is. If she's in debt, it doesn't matter. I don't see what men see when I find out the woman's a debt slave. Do you guys understand that? Now, of course, when I look at a woman, I like things, so I got to see it. But I have to find out if she's a debt slave. If I see a woman and she's sexy, right? I don't really get too invested in it because I don't know if she's a debt slave until I talk to her. If she's a debt slave, there's no reason to talk anymore. I might as well just stop. For what? We're not going to be able to talk about nothing. Nothing. Well, LJ, I guess you're going to be alone for a long time. That's the one thing. That's the wonderful thing about owning the time in your life. It's beautiful to be alone. I don't care. I love it. I love it. You have to get to this place, you have to love being alone. I love it. It's not a bad thing. You guys, when you hear the word alone, you guys think it's bad. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. I have no problems. And when you guys see me doing this, because my relationship before my freedom, I think about all the freedom I have when I think about that situation. Oh my goodness, it feels so good. It feels so it feels so good. Oh my goodness, it feels so good. The bank doesn't want the house. They want the tenant. LJ, there is a difference between doing math and using math. I believe that. That's true. Plus ownership and liability. You guys, I hope you guys are listening closely. When you hear Dave Ramsey says he don't own nothing personally, you guys got to pay attention to that. That's what you want. You don't want to own anything personally. You don't. Don't buy stocks, issue them. Sleep like a baby. Right. Sleep like a baby, outrageous. I'm telling you, man. I sleep like a baby. Soon. Hey, listen, I don't want people thinking, oh, he's 54, he's old, and this and that. I'm not the average 54-year-old. I don't want you young dudes, I don't want you thinking that when you hear that age, that you got to look old. And hey, listen, I still got my 6-pack, 8-pack. Hey, listen, it's what you want it to be. You want it to be, but sleep Sleep has contributed amazing things for my body. I can't even explain to you, especially this right here, because you can't really see your brain, so you actually forget about it. People do. You people really do. I know it sounds funny, but since you can't see your brain, you forget that your brain is in there. And the only way your brain can repair itself, you got to be asleep. You trying to, that's like, in order for, that's like trying to fix a car, trying to change the oil in the car while it's running. Yeah, I'm going to change your oil. Hey, but the car's running. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, that's okay. We're going to just do a quick swap. You can't do that. You have to be asleep. And when I say asleep, you got to have some good sleep, not stress sleep, worried sleep. When you go to sleep, worried as soon as you wake up, that's not good sleep. When I sleep, I don't sleep about nothing. When I go to sleep, I'm not stressed. And when I wake up, I'm not waking up thinking about nothing. I don't think about nothing except goals and life and what I'm going to do and what I'm every morning. Listen, when I wake up every morning, I have 2 hours I take 2 hours of meditation time. You hear me? 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours. And I love it. And after the 2 hours, I got to stop myself because I can go like 5, 6 hours. I can go a long time, long time. Banks are only intermediaries. They send the balance to the real owners. I believe that too. Believe that. Andre Biswell. Oh, you're talking Andre. Omanique. He said, I extract from the market. Oh, shout out to James Mag, sir. Member for 33 months. Says last Friday, I have more money in my savings than my mortgage. Wow. Okay, hold on. Okay. Got my house in July 21st. He said, as of last July, I have more money in my savings than my mortgage. Okay. All right. Got my house in July 20th. So after some SMD consult, feels great to be an alien again. Okay. So James, this is what I want you to do. Okay. I want you to calculate how much you really have in your savings. All right. So do your savings minus your mortgage. Put it this way, James. Savings minus mortgage balance equals savings. That's the real thing, okay? And each day you have the more if what you're saying is true, each day you have the mortgage, your savings is going down because you really don't have that much in your savings. It's not really there, okay? If I'm reading that right. Where we at here? You guys been talking. I love all that people put in there. So Coding says, LJ, can you explain why all the financial advice debt slaves say is put money away to 401k, IRA, and anything else? Because they are programmed to do that. They have no money to do anything. They just told that, hey, even though you do save tax savings using the 401k and all that other stuff, but they don't have any money to put to debt slaves cannot save money on taxes at all. When you're in debt, listen, you guys got to understand. I want people to really understand this. When you're in debt, you cannot, it's 100% impossible to save money on taxes while you're in debt. Debt slaves do not know that. You can't do that at all. You can't save any, especially on taxes. You can't do that at all. Can't do that. Mm-hmm. So it's just a program they run, Coding. It's just a program. The financial excess anyone has, debt slaves always say to just throw it in retirement because they believe that some kind of and it's all part of the program. They've been programmed to believe that a company, some 401k plan is gonna help them retire better than themselves because they don't trust themselves. So since you don't trust yourself, we're going to do it for you, and they just believe it. That's all. It's just a program. Equities at the top of the capital stat. The least valuable part for an investment. Interesting. That's very interesting. Produce stock, don't consume stock. All them alien statements. Nobody understands you, Andre. I don't know why you're talking. You're just PCA. Nobody understands all that jibber jabber. Okay. Which say, Monica, I've been speaking to my nephew. I told him I won't be asking any more about his student loans. Let him. I know. I told you. Well, you probably, Monica, you probably been doing this because he's your nephew. We all do that. We have our loved ones, and you know good as well as I that if that was just a regular old debt slave that you wasn't related to, you probably would have said something once, and that's it. But since this is a loved one, which I always speak. And I want all the SMD family members, this is going to be the hardest part. When you free yourself and you see a family member doing debt slave stuff, you naturally are going to want to help them. You're going to naturally want to try to figure out a way you can say something. It doesn't matter if this debt slave is related to you. They are a debt slave. And you have to wait till they come to you. This is what I always tell the SMD family members, okay? If you want to help your family who are debt slaves, show them how you're living free, how you have no stress, how you never have any problems, how your life is just good. Let them see that. And if they see it enough, maybe they'll come to you and ask. But until they ask you, you just don't. Because you're gonna save yourself a lot of frustration. Just don't. So LJ, are you retired? And you know what's so crazy, outrageous? That's another thing. That word retired. I don't even know what that really means because retirement means that just to me when I listen, I'm free right now, right? Retired is just seemed like a word tied to a job. You're just retired from that job because like right now, I work for myself and I love what I do. I don't ever want to stop doing it. I'm gonna keep doing it until my body can't move anymore. So I'm never gonna retire. I'm gonna do this until I'm dead. I can help. Listen, what I teach is forever. Capitalism is here to stay. The only thing that's going to change it would be a war. That's the only thing. Other than that, it's here to stay. It's never going away. I don't want it to go away. It's beautiful. It's lovely. Everything's not expensive. Gas is not high. Taxes. I don't care about the price of tax. I mean, I'm not going to say I don't completely care, but taxes are your friend. They're not big, bad, and evil. And when tax season come around, so what? So here, tax person, take care of my shit. Get it in before the due date. The government says before March 15th for this, April 15th for that. Make sure it's there. That's all I care about. Make sure it's right. Whatever, I don't even think about that word no more, outrageous. I really don't. It's like that's another debt slave word, really. Liquidity, you could that's another debt word. Man, I'm this liquid. No, you're not. If you got a mortgage, listen, if you have a mortgage, you have no liquidity at all. Nothing. You have a mortgage. What are you talking about? Liquid. What? You can't have a mortgage and be liquid. You can't. What are you talking about? Because my understanding of liquid, maybe I'm wrong. My understanding of liquid is like cash. You can just get it or something. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me say that back. Am I wrong about saying the word liquidity or whatever? I might be wrong. Yes, LJ, I'm done. He must remain a debt slave until he is tired. He loves it. You're right, Omanike. He loves it. It's just sad when it's a family member. I got family members right now that it just bothers me. They talk that debt slave talk. Oh man, I'm going to do this. I'm going to invest in that. You're not doing nothing. You got $20,000 in student loan debt. You're not doing anything. But you think I say that? Absolutely not. Hold on. I got to open this. Getting hot in here. Hold on for a second. Is saving money in the bank not safe or worth it? I'm not sure what you're meaning by that. Not safe. What do you mean safe from what? Bank robbers? What are you talking about? Safe from bank robbers? Who's gonna get it? Safe from who? Living with this gift. When I drive around every day now and traffic, it feels good that when I'm caught in traffic, it's temporary. I like to look like when I am caught in traffic, I like to look at other cars because my windows are tinted. So I'll look at other drivers. The majority of drivers that I see just look so frustrated. I would not, now that I have when I live in my perspective of the world, I have no problems, no stress, no nothing, right? So now that I live in this perspective of the world, and then I see people, debt slaves in traffic and problems, relationship, debt, da da da. If there's something on the road and somebody's, I give people plenty of room. If somebody wants to hurry up and get in front of me, or they're tailgating me, they're trying to listen. I don't know what's going on in a debt slave's life, and their guns are legal here. You just don't know. I understand that a person could be anywhere, and this could be the day that they just don't care about nothing anymore. And you could be that happen that day that you might be in traffic and you didn't want to let them get in front of you or something stupid. And that could be the day that says, no, you can have, when I'm out on the road and I see frustrated drivers, you can have it. Go, shit. Am I in your way? Yeah, let me pull over. If they're tailgating me, let me pull over because you got to get somewhere and I don't. So let me go ahead. Go ahead. It's not going to be me. I don't. Here, let me give you another example. Here's another example. Okay, now that I'm free and I own myself, I live in a perspective of the world. We're going to go back to dating for a second. I live in a perspective of the world where there's no cheating, there's no lying, there's no physical abuse, none of that exists. And so now that I live in this perspective of the world, it's easy to see people that do live in that perspective of the world. So say it like this, with cheaters. So it's like there are men and women cheaters. There are cheaters out there that cheat on the people they are with. Now, what they don't understand is this. This is what you guys do. When you don't live in that, like now that I'm free and I understand how it works, cheating will never happen to me again. 99% chance that will never happen to me again. And you're probably thinking, well, why, LJ? This is me. First of all, I will never date a woman who is in debt. That will never happen. Okay, that eliminates a whole bunch of women right there. And then if she happens to be not in debt, this has to be taken care of mentally, heart, everything, all this stuff has to be. If she hasn't get past that, we're not going anywhere. Okay, now you got to remember, cheaters are attracted to other cheaters. Now say like this. Say like there's a woman she's married, but she cheats on her husband. Now, say like she goes out, she usually 9 times out of 10, she's going to tell or not tell, but you can tell that the man is going to know that find out this woman's married. She's going to know that and they're going to get together because she attracted a man that attracts men that are attracted to women that cheat on their husbands. That's what you got to remember that's how it works. Because if a woman said like this, I'm out and about, and a woman, and she happens to be married, and she tries to hit on me, she's not getting anywhere because I don't mess with married women. That's how people get killed. That's how I look at it. People don't really take it that serious, but that's how people get killed when people do that. No, because I'm not attracted to a woman who's a cheater that cheats on her husband. I don't do that. And vice versa. But she's only going to get men, but she's going to find a man that is attracted to a woman but he doesn't know that she attracted him too. They're attracted to each other because they live in negativity. I don't live in that. So that's the world I live in now. So my perspective of the world and dating and all that stuff is totally different than millions of people, because I know the questions to ask. I know what to say, because they don't know. The women don't know the psychological questions that I'm asking them and why I'm asking them. Because if they've been in debt all their lives, or cheaters or liars or whatever, I'll be able to spot it quickly because of how they move. And it's so like I meet somebody and she says, "Oh, I'm not married. I'm not dating anybody." Because that's the first question I'm gonna ask. If that happens like that, I'll say, "Are you dating anybody? Are you married? Or are you seriously involved in that question?" I say that question right up front. Because if I find out it's a lie, it's immediately over. I'm not even saying anything. Because I take my time. There's no rush to get in to know anybody. But anyway, when you find that out, that's the main question you ask in the beginning. So because people that are married or cheaters, they move differently. They don't know that they move differently than people that don't do that. Okay, we move totally different. But you can always tell if somebody's with somebody because they move very differently. Only can talk to you, texting and calling back at odd times and hours later, this and that. You can tell. It's very obvious when you're not part of that perspective of the world anymore. They don't know that. So when they move like that, I just stop. Because obviously you're with somebody because the way you're moving. Because a single person, when you call us, if we don't answer, it's because we're busy or something, but it's not because we're hiding from a significant other, or we'll call you at regular times. Hey, I'll call you after work. I'll call you at 6. I'll call you when I get home. Things that cheaters cannot do. They just can't come home after work and chill and call you about 7 or 8 o'clock at home. They just can't. Oh, I went to bed early. I worked overtime, all that kind of stuff. I don't live in that world anymore. All right, any questions before I get out of here? It's been an hour and 37 minutes. I ain't did nothing that in a long time. Wow. Now, if you haven't checked out my other channel, 6 Cents, I strongly suggest you do, because I'm gonna be ramping up live videos for that too pretty soon. And how'd that come up? Hold on for a second. I don't know why that comes up every time. All right. Let me try and find my channel. YouTube/6 Cents. That's what it is. So. That wrong, huh? 6th. There we go. Cents. Hello. I ain't finding it. Okay. SIXTHCNTS. Huh. I must have spelled it wrong. All right. It's 6 Cents, bro. Let me see. Let me do a regular search. I'll put it in at the details. I'll find it later. All right. Well, I didn't see you, James. My bad. What's up, James?
Hey, how's it going?
All right, sir. How you been?
Yeah, it's been a while. Long time.
I know it has, man. Hair grew. That hair looks different. How's things going, sir?
Yeah, I'm just kind of, speechless right now. Just thinking, so many big picture things just start coming into your brain when you have green money again.
Like, green money, exactly. Yeah. None of that digital money.
Nope. It's been quite an adventure, because it was.
Tell me what's going. Tell me, man.
Well, yeah, it was 3 years ago, right? So I turned 30, paid off my car on my 30th birthday. Then the cash just stacked, right? And then I was just like,
oh, you got the shirt on too, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then it just all the changes and everything, and it was all the chaos during the pandemic and stuff like that. And I was going through some family drama, and so then we did some consults, and it's like, he helped me through a lot, just sort through a lot of things.
Wow.
I was like, I think I might want to get a house. It felt right,
Yeah.
And then I did. So I moved to northern Wisconsin. I was been working remotely this whole time. So I was able to go anywhere in the country with good internet. And, it worked out good. I was able to get a house for under $100,000. It was a 3% mortgage. And I've just been on my grind all this time.
Now you said you had more money in your savings than the mortgage?
That's right. Yeah.
Now, did you do what I said? Did you do what I said?
I did. Yeah. So it's actually, I'm like, my true real net worth is like $500 right now. So it's like, I want to pay that off so bad, because I know it's like this thing, it's this debt weighing me down. But at the same time, it's like, being a homeowner can be tricky with just unexpected.
No, you're doing it right, man. You're doing it right. I wouldn't do that. If I had $500 left, I wouldn't do it now either. I just did that so you could see the reality. Not to encourage you to pay it off, but to put a fire under you to say, okay, it just clicks things in your mind to say, okay, what can I do to pay it off faster or whatever, right? That's what that's the purpose of saying that. That's the purpose.
Yeah. It's great to just to see like the real big picture perspective on it. It's because there's a lot of money in the savings that's stacking, but at the same time, there's also that mortgage that's
that alone. But I don't want to put down the fact that you have enough money in the bank to pay off your mortgage. Okay, that alone is the shit. Okay, that is just to say it, just to be able to know that you could if you wanted to. But right now, it's not the best time to do it. I want you to just take that in. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's weird how because it's several times I've been in and out of the matrix where because I intuitively knew something was wrong when I was in student loan debt, when I had my very first internship, when I first set foot into a row of cubicles for the very first time. I was like, oh, what the hell? Like, have you ever seen the movie Office Space?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, I was like, Office Space is real. Like, this is what people do with their lives. Like, really? Like, and it's just I looked around and I was just seeing how just miserable everybody looked. And I was interning at U.S. Bank. It was the 5th largest bank in the country, and I was just like, I was just kind of putting 2 and 2 together, thinking, well, I don't think most of the people here want to be here. I think they're stuck here, and it's like I think they're all. I didn't make the whole debt slave connection at the time, but it's like looking back, yeah, and it's like. So I was really motivated to pay off student loans when I got out of college, and I did that, but I didn't, I was living paycheck to paycheck most of the time, and I didn't know how to save money properly. And then when my student loans were paid off, then still living paycheck to paycheck, and next thing you know, there's a car repair bill, and then go into survival mode, and it's like, okay, well, maybe I should just get rid of this car, and I'll just go into $10,000 in debt to get a nicer, newer car, because that really makes a lot of sense, right? But cars was the biggest thing for me.
Mm-hmm. Me too. I can't even count the amount of cars I financed throughout my life. And each time I thought I was just winning because each car got better and better. So I was obviously climbing the social ladder. Look at my car. I'm rich, So tell people how do you sleep at night now? Tell people how you sleep.
It's way different. It's just way easy. Everything is just calmer. Everything is just it's like when I'm just walking around the house, I'm not nearly as frantic or as frazzled. I'm able to just, it's just like the stuff I'm doing.
I see you trying to put it in words. That's the hard part, trying to put it in words to explain the feeling. Yeah.
It's like at work, I'm involved in some pretty intense projects right now, and things are kind of down to the wire. And this is normally when I would be really, really stressing about everything, but it's not like that. It's like I'm just taking things as they come, and just it's so odd.
That's exactly when they come. I just say I'm just like because I don't want people to think that issues do not happen. I just handle them different. I just say, okay, all right, what can I do today? What can I do now? Okay, I got to come back to this piece or whatever. I just break it up in pieces, and then next thing you know, it's gone. That's it. Just take care of it head on. Yeah. Don't avoid it. Don't pretend it doesn't exist, Because I do it because I don't want anything to disturb my peace. So I just take care of things like that. Boom, boom, boom. Because the peace is lovely.
Yes, it is. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm happy for you, man. I'm glad. Yeah. Because because when people come to me, they're on me, and then I give them the information, and then you just take off, right? You don't really need me anymore, which is perfectly. That's exactly how it should be, right? And then I like when you guys come back and say, "This has been going on in my life. This is the change," and you tell me the story, because the story can't be fake, because it's something internal that changes, right? So this part cannot be fake. So if I know, I haven't had a person come back and try to fake me out, at least, but I just know if they tried, I'd be like, oh, that's not true, because you can't fake it,
For sure. Yeah. Yeah. It's been interesting, because I've been, I'm part of the channel for since I've got the house and everything, but I haven't really interacted a whole ton. And it just didn't seem like it didn't feel right. It was that whole kind of that cocoon phase.
Yes.
You're going through it, you're under grind, figuring things out. And it's it's been quite a journey, had to kind of, like I said, like when around the time we did the consultations, I was going through quite a bit of family drama and stuff. So I had a lot of things to figure out, but there's been a lot of growth. And it's like, and where I ended up moving to was actually close enough to where I grew up that I was able to reconnect with all kinds of really great family that I hadn't seen in over a decade. So
wow.
Yeah.
So how's it been for you out there now? Because I want to share this with the audience. So how has it been for you out there as basically an alien, right? With the information, interacting with other people in your lives? Are you picking and choosing your conversations? Do you not say anything? How are you navigating?
Yeah, I think generally speaking, if I think most of my friends were already kind of like, I don't know if they would say that they were aliens, but they were kind of along that line of thinking. Like if you tell them something about like how the economy really works, they're not just gonna they're not just going to put their blinders on because they don't want to hear it or whatever. It's a personal program. Like the people I would hang out with would generally be open to those kind of ideas to begin with. So yeah, I don't have a ton of friends, but the ones I do are really, they're really solid. So
what about the working world, the regular non-friends? How are your interactions with them?
I try and just, I keep most of my conversations light for the most part. It's interesting you bring that up because, so I've worked in the debt collection industry for the last 9 years.
I remember that.
It's a fascinating world because the first job I ever had there, I was actually on the collection floor where all the phone calls were being made, but I was doing more like IT support and that kind of thing. So it was a super intense environment, but I really got to know a lot of the debt collectors like at a really deep level. And what surprised me was, the ones that aren't bullies and whatnot, like the really good ones, the really good people, they're actually really, really empathetic individuals. So like I made I became really good friends with.
So they're not all like what the videos and TV make them out to be, like they're just horrible people.
Exactly. Yeah, those guys don't last. And the industry was more kind of the Wild West, back in the day. Like that was kind of how things were 20 years ago across the board. But now more and more, it's like I've been heavily involved in compliance and like, help, trying to kind of bring the industry into the 21st century. Like we want to treat people with respect now. There's rules you have to follow. So
has this knowledge helped you in that, especially in the compliance area? Has this knowledge helped you in that area? Not just money, because it changes your whole, everything. Has it helped you in that area?
For sure. Yeah. Just understanding understanding people's behavior, just to understand from the perspective of, most people are just following what other people do, trying to impress others and things. And they'll sign whatever papers they got to do to get that look. And it's amazing what people will do to try and fit in with the crowd.
Yeah. And I want you to notice that they don't know that you can see them doing that. You see how you're saying it to me? I try to tell SMD family members that I want you guys to see the psychological power in it. You guys just notice, oh, they just trying to do this. Well, they don't know that you can see that. They just think whatever they're doing is just normal, which it is for them, right? But you can see something that they can't. So you can make evaluations on people that try to approach you to try to be your friend, that they're really not trying to be your friend. They're trying to be something else, because there are people out there that are just like that, it took me a minute to accept that, but it is true. And they're really easy to see with this knowledge, and they don't know that we can see it because it's psychological.
Yeah, it's like once you cross over the other side, and you kind of learn what some of the telltale signs are, you can kind of pick out if somebody's fake or not.
Easy.
Yeah.
They don't even, I mean, the debt thing alone just will weed them out really quickly. They don't even, as soon as they start talking like a debt slave, my evaluations have already been made. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, well, I don't really need to know anything else about you, really.
Yeah.
So
yeah. That's I something just popped into my head. This is
okay.
you're gonna like this. So at my last job before I went into collections, I was doing IT for a construction company, and there was like like when I was like one of my first months on the job, we had like a team meeting, kind of like meet everyone. We had like an icebreaker activity. Like the boss said, it's like, okay, picture this. I give you $10,000 right now. You can use it on whatever you want. What would you spend that money on and why? And then people, it was typical. I mean, some people went on vacation. Some people bought a lot of consumerism things. And then when it got to me, I had just under $10,000 in student loan debt at the time. And that was my only debt. So what I told people at the table was like, oh, well, you give me $10,000 right now. I'll just send it all to my student loan and then I'll deposit net worth. And then some of the worst, like some of them, this was a just beaten down debt slave. He comes up to me and he says, oh, you'll never have a positive net worth.
Like, what'd you say? What did you say?
Well, not with that attitude.
Not with that attitude.
It's like that guy was broken, and it's like he's got the house in the really the nice McMansion in the suburbs and everything. His kids
he came up to you and said that.
It was like around the table, or it was like a discussion kind of thing. So it wasn't like serious. We were all kind of laughing about
I know, but they make it sound like a joke, but it's serious for them. I know, I get it. Yeah. Wow. But how was what did the instructor say about your answer or the person?
She said it was great. Like, that was my I think it was my boss that's asked
the boss.
Yeah,
I bet you that they never. I bet you they probably never heard that answer. I bet that was the first time they heard that answer.
Yeah, no, it's
wow.
Yeah, and I guess like since that, I guess I'm part of being that I've been in the debt collection world. I mean, it's something that people I work with are thinking about all the time. So actually, most of my bosses have been most of them have been pretty good with their finances. Where if they were paying everything off, is a lot of them like Dave Ramsey a lot. So,
see, and I always tell people, even Dave Ramsey has the business aspect, pay off the house. After you get down to your mortgage, put 15% into retirement, which you can't do that. Right. But I understand his business model, because if he waited till everybody paid their house off to make money, he wouldn't make no money. So I get it. I totally get why he tells them that, to do something that they cannot do.
Exactly. Yeah, because he'll send people to his Smart Investor Pros, and then you sign up with them, they get a cut, and then so does he.
Correct. So, because they obviously, his Investor Pros can break the laws of mathematics. He's got special Investor Pros that can do that. So they can do that. So you got to pay him to do it, though. It ain't free. Break the laws of mathematics. But I get it, though, because you learn when you create your own business, you look at models like Dave Ramsey and say, oh, that's how you do a business model.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's how you do it. You don't hate on it. You're like, oh, okay, that's how you do it. All right, I'll do it that way.
Yeah. And I did, I was curious kind of to understand more of like how his program worked at a deeper level. So I actually did go through the Financial Peace University back in 2022. It was fascinating. Of course, I didn't get rid of my credit cards and stuff like that. But it was cool to see, like, from his perspective of why he teaches what he teaches.
Yeah, I did the same thing. That's how I got out of debt, Dave Ramsey. When I got to that part, I was confused. Like the house part, I was like, that's when I didn't understand what I know today. But now I know it's business. But it confused. I was like, what? So I used the calculator until I get down to my mortgage, and then I stopped using the calculator. It just didn't make any sense. I said, oh, okay, I get it. Got it. So. No, man, I'm happy for you, man. You look, I could see it in you, man. You could just see it. You know what I'm saying? You could see it in a person's face, skin, because there's no stress.
Right.
Shit just rolls off of you. Hey, okay, you don't want to be my friend? Okay, bye. All right.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. Someone if they seem toxic or negative, it's like, okay, I'm going to go over here.
Yeah, just walk away from them. I don't care. I'm happy, man. I'm glad to see you in that, man. Looking great, man. Wow, how's this life? Everything going good? Is business, everything?
Everything's great. Yeah. No, like me and a couple buddies, we went for a run. I'm on the south shore of Lake Superior. We went for a run this morning, 9
Wow.
miles. Beautiful day. And it's just
Nice.
like, yeah, life is good. Yeah.
Man.
Life is good.
Thank you for coming back, telling me, man. Thank you for sharing that with me. I do appreciate that. I really do.
For sure.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. All right.
All right, sir, man. We're going on 2 hours. We'll wrap it up. Thank you for jumping on. I appreciate it. Check out my other channel, 6 Cents. I'll put it in the link in the description. I didn't put it in earlier. I'll get it. But check out my other channel. I'm gonna be putting a lot of live time in over there. So little deeper topics.
For sure.
Because death slaves are here forever. It's kind of get same old stuff, but
yeah.
This is a whole different level. This is more about what happens when you're free. There's the mental, spiritual, all kind of stuff that changes, and I'm gonna start sharing that with people.
Yeah. I think, and it's the SMD connection and the narcissism. It's fascinating how much they're interconnected. Because I remember we were talking on the phone. I was explaining I'm kind of like intertwined with some toxic family, but I didn't quite know how to explain it. And it was like, if I throw out the word narcissist, is he going to understand what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So, but it's just amazing how having when you're independently wealthy, then all of a sudden you realize this person's toxic. I need to get away from them. It's so much easier.
Yeah. And then you will sooner or later. I'm going to run into other wealthy people that understand. Because death slaves always try to say like wealthy people are evil and bad and all this other stuff. No, they just don't want to waste their time talking to death slaves that will never really get it. It's nothing personal. It's just they just won't get it because they refuse to get it. And I'm sure they're just wonderful people because they're free. No problems, no stress. They just don't want you bringing that into. I don't allow that to come in my world. Now that I've discovered it, I don't care what they call me, if I'm an asshole, whatever. I don't care, death slave. See you later. Bye-bye, because I got peace. So I get it. I totally get it. As SMD grows, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be meeting lots of millionaires and billionaires. And then I'm going to start talking to them, and I'm going to share what I've talked to them about with you guys, because it's not going to be about money. Because if you really think about it, James, when you get to this where we're at, you really don't even think about money anymore like that. You just don't. It's not a thought. When you pull up to the gas station, you're like, oh my God, look at these gas prices. You just fill up and just click and just leave,
You're not always thinking about it. Yeah. You're not always having to like make calculations in your head if you can afford something.
Correct. That's not even there anymore. It's beautiful. So, and I want everybody to get here. And I'm just glad to see a SMD family member that did it, and even you're about to pay off your house. That's a whole different set apart level, No, I mean, that's your only debt, right? Your mortgage, right?
Yeah. I mean, I've got some credit cards, but I pay them off. I don't even need to the end of I pay them off like when the charges hit. I got cash back and stuff.
Yeah, it's important that credit cards make life easy. It's a tool. So sure. I have one credit card, but I rent a car, hotel rooms. I just don't want no hassle with debit cards just here.
Yeah, exactly.
So great. So thank you, sir, for jumping up. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Enjoy your life. Appreciate it. All right, everybody. Thank you for jumping on. I like to see SMD family members that come back and tell us how their life changed and they can feel the change. That's what it is. Your whole entire life just my life is beautiful right now, people. It is absolutely beautiful. I want everybody to feel what it feels like to have no stress, no debt, successful businesses. Just beautiful. It's just beautiful. Taxes are your friends. Gas prices go up. You don't really think about it. I don't really care. Doesn't bother me. I know people are like, what the hell are you talking about? All right. Anyway, thank you, everybody. Let me see. Let me get this real quick. 1 second. Because I know these things expire sometimes. So let me 1 second here. Let me do something. I can't even do it. Never mind. All right. Thank you, everybody. Andre, thank you, sir, for joining. I don't know if you're still in here, Monique. I don't know if you left. Coding. Thank you, James, for jumping up. Appreciate it. Everybody that came in, check out the other channel, 6 Cents. I'll put the link in the details of this video as soon as I get off. I'm going to do it right away because I will forget if I don't. All right. Thank you, everybody. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful Sunday evening. Talk to you later. What section of the Discord are you in? All right. See you later.